I don't think we've seen a single MVP selection in recent years that wasn't controversial. You got James Harden in 2018 for obvious reasons, and then Giannis, who I guess now that I think about it was at like the peak of his humble guy arc, so I guess nobody was really upset that he won it, but there was still the run and dunk allegations. And then Jokic started winning it too much and he didn't care enough about winning the award, so people got mad at him for that. And then arguably the most controversial up until now, which was Joel Embiid, the guy who would not stop crying about not winning the award, and they finally said, here, take the damn thing. But like I said, that was the most controversial one up until today, because unlike the past couple years where the MVP was announced pretty early on in May, they made us wait till the 21st just for Shams to randomly announce it at 1 p.m. on, what is it, a Wednesday? Absolutely ridiculous, and I'm going to get into that here in a minute, because if anything, that's the biggest gripe I have with the MVP this year. I mean, I'll be honest with you guys, I wanted Jokic to win, and I never thought I would say that because I was one of those people who didn't like that he was winning it so much that he didn't care about the award. And I know that's a stupid reason to say that a player doesn't deserve one of the biggest awards in the league, but it's not like me having that opinion meant that I didn't acknowledge his game. Nikola Jokic is the greatest player in the league. Even if his team is bad and their record isn't the best of all time, the fact that they're even third or, fourth, I can't remember exactly where they are in the standings, the fact that they're even that high is solely because of Nikola Jokic. And that's all I really have to say about that. This video isn't going to be me trying to convince you guys that SGA doesn't deserve it and it should have gone to Nikola Jokic and he got robbed again. Because hey, even if I wanted Nikola Jokic to win, I can acknowledge and understand that SGA also deserves MVP. He's leading the league in scoring at like 32 points a game, one of the most consistent guys out there in the league, and he's also been one of the biggest reasons as to why the OKC Thunder have not only dominated the Western Conference, but the entire NBA at large. But there was an argument that started basically after game 1 of the Western Conference Finals, but especially has picked up steam after SGA got announced as MVP, and that's the fact that SGA is a free throw merchant. He doesn't deserve this MVP. He doesn't deserve to be where he is because all he does is flop and get to the free throw line and he just lives on the line. There's been the memes of people who turn on their TV to watch the game and what do you know, SGA is standing at the free throw line, all of that kind of stuff. And I made 2 videos on TikTok and Instagram talking about my opinion on the whole SGA free throw merchant narrative, and the truth is it's kind of fake. SGA only averaged 8.8 free throw attempts in the regular season this year, and I know it sounds crazy when I say only, but you would see all these people saying that he's a free throw merchant, saying that all he does is shoot free throws, that's the only way he scores, and that's the reason why he doesn't deserve MVP. But then you go back and look at 2009-2010 LeBron James, who averaged over 10 free throws a game. You look at 2017 Russell Westbrook, also averaged more than 10 free throws a game. You look at, I'm forgetting the other player, Giannis in his 2020 year, where he also averaged over 10 free throw attempts a game. Like, it is just a common thing where these guys, these superstars, these next level players have what we call a superstar whistle. And my big problem was that we're seeing SGA, an amazing basketball player, get kind of discredited because he shoots a decent amount of free throws every game, when the same people who use that argument and discredit him and all that kind of stuff, well, look at 2010 LeBron, look at 2017 Russell Westbrook or Giannis in 2020 and say, oh my god, that was real basketball, that was a true hooper right there, when they averaged more free throws than the guy that you're complaining about did. I do have to say, I understand what you mean when you say it's how he gets to the line, and I made it very clear in a lot of my other videos where I talk about this, where I say, hey, I have no problem with SGA shooting free throws, I have a problem with how he gets those free throws. Because yes, he does flail his arms around sometimes. He does create the contact and then make it look like it's the defender who made it. He does his fair share of flopping. Like, that is kind of the game he has made. I'm sure he practices a lot of these things so he can get better at finishing through that kind of contact, and he just so happens to kind of, get good at just baiting those fouls. So yeah, I understand if you don't like that, you don't think that that's the right way to play basketball and that he's cheating the game, but in my opinion, that's all on the officials. The NBA added a flopping rule where if you flop, you get a flagrant or a technical or something like that, only if it's like a clear flop. They seem to never implement it whatsoever. The OKC in particular, and we saw it in that game 1 of the Timberwolves series, and I'm sure we'll see it in game 2 as well, don't quote me on that, the officials seem to let the OKC Thunder play an insane amount of physical and aggressive and feisty defense, but then as soon as the other team starts doing that on Shea, they're a bit more loose with the calls. Because hey, I hate to break it to you guys, but a lot of the fouls that we saw in that very controversial game 1 weren't like made up out of thin air. A lot of them were real fouls. If you look at the book, they were like true fouls. But the big problem wasn't that they were being called, it was that they weren't being called on the other end for guys like Anthony Edwards or the Timberwolves. But once again, you do need to take into account the Timberwolves were not attacking the paint like SGA does. I mean, I feel like it's basic knowledge that with the amount of times that SGA drives into the paint, he is going to get more calls than someone like Anthony Edwards when he's playing on his more passive side of the game. I mean, I'm sorry, but Anthony Edwards shot 7 free throws in that game 1. SGA obviously shot a very controversial 14. But if you look at SGA's shooting chart compared to Ant's shooting chart, you can kind of see why one person got more calls than the other. So that's my big argument for free throws and all that kind of, debate that we're seeing online recently. But I have a bigger problem, one that is more important than silly free throw calls or the officiating being bad. It's specifically with the NBA. I don't know if it's Adam Silver. I don't know if it's one of his assistants. I don't know if it's someone else in, the company or something like that. I'm gonna need you guys to bear with me for this, okay? But when inside the NBA, when it was announced that this would be their final year on TNT or whatever, the NBA themselves did an entire tribute in the middle of the All-Star game. The actual game. I don't know if y'all remember. It was in the middle of the quarters or whatever. They did a whole ass tribute. They brought out fishing gear. They, sent them goodbye, whatever. They did all of that for a TV show. But for the MVP of the season, the first ever MVP in OKC since Russell Westbrook, an amazing season, whatever. This isn't some bullshit ass 6 Man of the Year award. We got a random Shams tweet at 1 p.m. That's it. We didn't get no big ceremony, no big grand thing. And I'm sure we will get, them giving the award to SGA in front of the home crowd after game 2. And the OKC Thunder did set up their own little press conference or whatever. But the NBA did nothing. They did nothing at all for the MVP announcement. And obviously it's a problem that they didn't do it. But the bigger problem is that they had a golden opportunity in front of them with the Denver Nuggets and OKC Thunder round 2 matchup. I need y'all to close your eyes with me and just imagine game 7 in OKC at the Paycom Center. I'm pretty sure that's the name. I'm trying to get the arena names down recently. Anyways, this is a huge game 7 to push it to the Western Conference Finals. Nikola Jokic is standing there on the bench and he has to watch SGA accept his MVP award. Not that Jokic would really care. We kind of already established that, but just, would that not be kind of cool though? Would that not be cool to see SGA receive the award? Or shit, even if it went to Jokic, see Jokic win the award in front of the home crowd against the runner-up. That was a legendary moment, and they completely threw it away, and that actually pissed me off more than anything. More than SGA winning it, more than the free throws, I don't care. That actually pissed me off more than anything. I know by the time this video comes out, they would have already given SGA his award in front of the home crowd, for game 2 of the Timberwolves series, but I just thought it was a cool opportunity, and it's felt like months since they did their last award. Do you guys remember when they gave out Clutch Player of the Year, Defensive Player of the Year, whatever? I don't know. I thought it was weird. But hey, SGA, hopefully you enjoy your MVP. Nikola Jokic, I know you're having fun with your horses right now. And in case you're wondering, yes, I'm talking to them. They're both subscribers of my channel, actually, which means you guys should subscribe too. I mean, you're already on the page, so go ahead and scroll down there, hit the subscribe, hit the like button, and comment down below your opinions on the MVP award as well. Do you think it should have gone to Nikola Jokic? Did you, for some reason, want Giannis to win the award? I don't know. Let me know everything down in the comments. I read and respond to everybody down there. And that being said, I will see you guys all in the next one. Later.